Hello everyone and welcome back to Kroof Gaming. In today's video I'm going to bring to you another bunker support build for the Guardian, and there's been recent changes that have been implemented into the game and I find them very interesting. It's really just a bunch of buffing to healing. It's fairly simple, but you know, more healing the better in my book because I really do enjoy support. So I'm going to bring to you another build variation on previous bunker builds. So let's hop right into it. I'm going to be covering the weapon sigils, rune, and amulet, and then my specializations. I might touch upon some of the weapon skills that have been buffed, and then explain my utility choice. So yeah, let's jump right into it. So I'm going to be taking the mace, shield, and staff, staple control support weapons for the Guardian in PvP. And then for my sigils, I'm taking Sigil of Purging because there's a lot of conditions being flown around in PvP. It's nice to stay safe, everyone. Just make sure not to die from multiple conditions. Sigil of Energy, gain 25% of your endurance when you swap to this weapon while in combat. This synergizes with the honor trait, Selfless Daring, which heals whenever you dodge roll. It's great, also great for just your own survivability, as well as pumping out more heals. And for staff, I'm taking Sigil of Courage. On hit, gain might for 10 seconds. This is more of a might stacking weapon and like AoE damage, because mace, or in my view, the mace and shield are much more defensive weapons. The staff is, of course, defensive, but this is where most of your damage will be coming from, because, I don't know, that's just like the way I like to view it. So I'm putting might on this. And Sigil of Exposure, your next attack after you swap to this weapon while in combat will inflict 5 stacks of vulnerability, just for more damage output. You can, of course, play around with these to suit your playstyle. And for the rune, I'm taking Rune of the Monk for more boon duration and outgoing healing. And for my amulet, good old trusty Mender's Amulet for more power and healing power. So those are my weapons and amulets and all that stuff. And moving on to the specializations, I'm taking Valor, Honor, and Virtues. For the Valor, I am taking Strength of the Fallen to increase my survivability when I'm downed, as well as removing conditions, Stalwart Defender for extra toughness and reduced shield cooldowns, and Monk's Focus, which is also great for survivability, and also grants Fury, so a little bit more damage for your allies, as well as yourself. For the Honor trait line, I am taking Protective Reviver, a staple, I guess Invigorating Bulwark. I've tried this out. It's very interesting. But Protective Reviver, you know, strength in numbers in PvP, strength in numbers. And Honorable Staff, I'm taking for the boon duration and reduced recharge. But actually, I will say, I've mostly been playing with Pure of Heart. I did a couple games with Honorable Staff, but I think for this build, I'm going to switch it over to Pure Heart just because it's a really nice heal for Aegis. And Writ of Persistence. Symbols last longer, they have increased healing, but I've also been playing Pure of Voice. But recently I've enjoyed Writ of Persistence. This build is very, you know, flexible. Sometimes you can take one or two others. And for Virtues, I'm taking Retaliatory Subconscious. Whenever you are inflicted with a CC, you gain Retaliation and Aegis, which is great for PvP. A lot of CC going around. Virtuous Solace is what I'm taking for my extra survivability. Drop a protective area at your location, which will knock enemies back and heal you. It's a little bit of a nerfed, I mean it is the nerfed version of Sanctuary. It's Merciful Sanctuary. So not as potent, but definitely great when the occasion arises. And Battle Presence. Nearby allies gain Virtue of Resolve's passive effect, which just increases outgoing healing to everybody around you. And that endurance regeneration is great. 600 radius. I have nothing left to say. Okay, we're moving on to my weapons and utilities. I'm going to briefly just touch on the weapons. Faithful Strike. This skill got a healing buff, I think by 100%. I'm pretty sure it's 100%. Don't quote me on that, but I'm 99% sure it's 100%. So healing was increased. Symbol of Faith. I almost said Symbol of the Faithful. Symbol of Faith is great for that regen, and with Writ of Persistence, it just pumps out extra healing. And Shield of Judgment with the healing on Aegis is great for an AoE heal and plus a block. Shield of Absorption is amazing for the knockback when you are fighting on a point, and that burst heal when you explode in a colorful orb of blue light. And moving on to the staff, detonate orb of light was increased by 20%, so it now does quite a substantial amount of healing. 2,000. It definitely gives it a bit of leeway, because when in the past I would feel so guilty whenever I would detonate the orb, because I didn't feel like it was enough healing. But they've buffed it to where I've been detonating it quite a lot recently, and I've been feeling satisfactory about it. It's been really great. And Empower, this skill's healing was also increased by, I believe, 100%. I don't know if it's 100%. Don't quote me on that, because it's a very strong heal, 4,000 for everybody around you in a 600 radius, as well as applying might. So definitely great in a group scenario. And Light of Warding for that juicy CC. Put this across a point, basically cut the arena in half. It's great. So that is my weapon skills and all that stuff. And now we're moving on to the utilities and some of my decisions on why I chose these utilities. Receive the Light was recently buffed by decreasing its cooldown to 30 seconds. And I'm just taking this. I could be taking the meditation Litany of Wrath to tie into Monk's Focus, but I have decided to take Receive the Light for the group support. That's basically it. Hallowed Ground is a very interesting trait, or not trait, it's a very interesting skill. It's received changes. It used to increase boon duration, now it just gives retaliation and stability. But it's great for PvP with a lot of CCs going around. It's great to give everybody a bit of stability so they don't fly across the map every 2 seconds. Sanctuary, great AoE. Also, I believe this build is very focused on making sure people are stable and or controlling the battlefield. So Sanctuary I really enjoy with just a nice emergency skill. Pop it, get inside. You should be fine unless the enemy has 50 stacks of stability. Then they really won't notice the Sanctuary. And Merciful Intervention, I'm taking this as a part of my meditation skill. Extra healing. A lot of healing. If you can get like 2 of your allies at a certain location and you can teleport to them, you can do quite a decent amount of healing, plus give them Fury, which is always also great. And for my elite, I'm taking Renewed Focus. This recharges all your virtues when you are done channeling, and you're also invulnerable while you are channeling this. So keep that in mind. If you're in a sticky situation and you're like, oh gosh, I have to hold the point and or I am low on health, just pop this. And it should give you some time. Oh, and also, pro tip, while you are channeling this, you can actually also pop all 3 of your virtues if you do not use the Dragon Hunter spec. If you're just taking normal Guardian, just pop them and you can get double use out of them. If you have all 3 up, if you have like 1 or 2 up, might as well pop them, might as well. So that is all of my weapons, runes, sigils, amulets, weapons, and utility skill options. I'm now going to insert some juicy gameplay. That was really fun. So I'll see you guys over on the gameplay portion. See you over there. Hello everyone, and welcome to the gameplay portion of this video. I'm just going to be talking about whatever I see on the screen because I find that's the best. Gotta change that field of view. Gotta make it larger for the audience. I forgot to do that. I was like, oh shit, gotta do that. So we are going on to the central point. We're going to mid. Typically when I play a bunker-esque build, I like to go straight from mid because there's no point in taking home because you really won't find too much opposition unless there happens to be a thief. So here I end up getting bursted down and I end up going down. But spoiler alert, I end up rallying because I had some awesome teammates and they were focused on getting me alive and killing the downed player. So I was really just focusing on staying on the point and using as much CC as possible and pumping out Aegis to my allies because Aegis blocks an attack and will give them a free heal if you take the trait Pure of Heart. And popping down some symbols at any given time. Really just making sure everybody is nice and healthy. The doctor of this game. So there's this Necro here. I believe there was a Necro and a guard, and if you saw just a moment ago, there was some retaliation getting pumped out on him, and I have to admit the retaliation does quite a bit of damage, especially if they're barraging you and they're a ranger or they're a pistol thief. You can get quite a bit of damage on them, but in turn you'll be taking some damage as well. I thought I could merciful intervention up to that revenant, but sadly I couldn't. Thankfully, my teammate and I go for him, and with Protective Reviver, I end up knocking everybody back. This Necro's trying to life transfer. It's not going so well. I end up using Hallowed Ground to give some people some stability, just to make sure that they are staying up, because I noticed that there was quite a bit of CC going on as well. And I was pumping some CC out too, so I'm like, you know what? Let's just make sure everybody's nice and stable. And so I swing over to home because I realized that it was under attack, and thankfully I made the right decision in my opinion, because my teammate just went down and I was like, oh no. And you might have noticed some more retaliation going out. Whenever you pop a virtue with your, if you take the virtue trait line, anytime you activate a virtue, you'll be giving yourself retaliation. So keep that in mind. And then he ends up going down, and I'll transition to the next fight here, which is on the same exact point. He ended up recovering and coming back, and he wanted to take home again, or at least try to take home again. I thought that this revenant had a bit more health, so my reactions were a bit delayed. I ended up fat fingering 6. And right here I end up using Line of Warding, and it was so satisfying. He ends up getting knocked down. So careful positioning with Line of Warding is nice. I contemplating holding the choke here, but I'm like, you know what, no. It's probably not the best. That was probably not the best. Mace 3, Protective Strike? I forgot the name of that. I was not the best use of that skill because he wasn't going to hit me, of course. But I ended up knocking him back with Shield 5, and then I'm continuing on with some Hallowed Ground because I don't know what form of CC this Guardian has, so I was just going to play it safe. And I keep popping down some symbols. I end up using Line of Warding and then Sanctuary, which I don't think was necessarily a good call at that time. I probably should have let Line of Warding end at that, or end until I use Sanctuary. But in the heat of battle, you're just like, oh, I'm like halfway at health. I gotta do something. Gotta get the edge off on health, because I'm fairly confident that I can survive longer than he can and just gradually wear him down, which I end up doing thanks to copious amounts of retaliation and auto attacks. And he'll end up going down right here, and I'll end up stomping him, just curb stomping his face into the ground. Just use Hallowed Ground just in case he uses Wave of Light, your down skill too, which he did. So thankfully I managed to negate that like a boss. Yeet. So we're back on the next fight. There was a portion of this video that I decided to cut. It's when I went for far, and I merciful intervention to a friendly player, and I thought I could revive him because he was downed, but I couldn't. Sorry, I just slapped my desk. He went down, and I decided to get the hell out of dodge because there was 2 enemies on a single point. I'm like, you know what, I can't do it. So word to the wise, choose your fights wisely and know what you can and can't accomplish. So here we're on mid, we're just having a little bit of a skirmish, putting down some Hallowed Ground, getting some stab, you know. Stab's always nice. The thing with stability is that stability and CC together, the thing is you can't determine what they're going to do when, because you can't be inside the enemy's head. So it's really just on a whim of luck. That was an amazing Line of Warding right there. Managed to block him off just in case if he did decide to run. And I just auto-attacked him down behind the pillar. Wave of Light, or Wave of Wrath ends up just not even considering any obstacles in the line of sight, so that's a little weird. Decided to go for Tranquility, but my teammates already got it, and that's the end of the fight. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you guys try out this build. It's definitely fun if you like bunkering stuff. I'm going to show my healing stats. So thank you everyone so much. Subscribe for more content. Like the video if you liked it, and comment below which you thought about this build. Another one of those generic ones, but yeah. I'll catch you guys over. Bye!